Roger, go for deploy.
2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Seven layers of voice.
7 layers. Welcome, everybody, to Toon Talk 2.0.
Welcome, everyone, to Toon Talk 2.0. Sorry, I was just finished recording a part of the album, so I was like blabbing about that with Jake here. Welcome, everyone, to another week of another unwanted show.
Another unwanted show.
Yeah, I don't want to see you anymore. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Of course, this is my favorite day of the week. Yeah, when we get together and we chat about things that doesn't matter, but they matter everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what's funny about that, though? Because it was interesting because I know a lot of people from other countries who have had significantly tougher times than the average American will ever even fathom, much less have. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest, sometimes I feel really dumb caring so much about some of the things that I care about. But then I remind myself that it's not so much, at least for me, because I can only speak for myself, it's not so much that I care about these particular things. Like at the end of the day, it's a TV show, but it's the idea and influence behind it. You know,
No. And let me tell you that we bring a relief to all the people all around the world that they're sick of their problems. They just want to hear about what I bitch so much about a movie, or you defend a movie, or vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa is going to be tonight. But before we get rolling, I want to let everybody know this podcast is brought to you tonight by our friends at Stevie Wicks. More on them later. Get your Christmas candles, by the way. Oh, that's upside down. Get your Christmas candles, by the way.
Nice.
And the Arte podcast. You should really check out my latest episode. Also apropos for the holiday season, because Hanukkah's coming up for all of our Jewish friends out there. And also, I want to invite all of you to please go vote for us for the 2024 Artie Awards. Voting is still open.
Let me be clear. You have two options. You need to vote for Toon Talk 2.0 in every category. If not, I will find you. I got a special set of skills. How will be a cholo doing that? Hey, ese, I will hunt you down.
I'm gonna hunt you down.
I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna play some chimichangas in your face. Anyway, so you better vote for us because you are the coolest people on earth. That's
so today's
what
episode,
my mom says, and Jake's mother says. Today we're gonna have a specific thing, but before that, I want to talk about a couple of things. Did I mention that you need to vote for us? Thank you. No, we need to please vote for us and vote for all the other podcasts. They're really good. And I will not feel bad. The only podcast that I'm actually not involved is the Ready Media podcast, Down the Middle podcast, Average Intelligence, and Goosebumps. The rest I'm involved. So no matter who you vote for, you're voting for my personal beautiful ego. So that's good. You want to say something, Jake?
Yeah,
I can hear you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I muted because I was checking the audio. I apologize to all the viewers who got a bunch of randomness there for a minute because for some reason the link wasn't in the description even though I put it there. So they could hear everything you said, but the video switched out on a couple of things.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So today is a special day. Why? Because it's my no birthday. So I'm going to celebrate my no birthday today. Now, I want to share this with you people. Yesterday, my doggy almost passed. And I was destroyed. I called Jake with tears in my eyes. Like, fuck, I can't do this in this time. The kid has been with me for 18 years. It's been the most constant in my life in 3 countries in 18 years. But today, something magnificent happened. And I know everyone, when I say it, everybody going to be, oh. You got to do the okay, Jake? Oh. Because I was singing the new album I was recording, and Ozzy came after being ill the whole day and sit down next to me and start going in the tone where I was singing the song. And I told the engineer not to clean it, to leave it there. So Ozzy's the feature on that song, and I'm gonna make sure that every platform I'm gonna say feature Ozzy, my dog. So anyway,
Put him in the liner notes for sure.
oh yeah, he's gonna get
Backup
more
vocals
royalties
by
like me.
Ozzy.
But
Backup
Ozzy,
vocals by Ozzy Stark.
that's fucking awesome. Anyway, that just want to share that with the audience because I know everybody that has a dog will be, oh, and whoever that doesn't have a dog will be like, yeah, this fucking asshole. But it's okay.
You know, this is
It's
a real detraction, but I'm going to share this story because anybody who's ever had a dog will understand this. And it's a really weird thing. I'm not trying to be a downer, but when you asked me yesterday and I told you, I was like, as a matter of fact, yes, I have direct experience with this. It's because um, the dog, it wasn't my first dog, but it was the dog I had the longest growing up. When she died of extremely old age, um, I was there the whole time and it was a solid 6 or 7 hours.
Oh, that's tough, man.
Well, but here's the thing though. I knew what was happening, and that's why I told you, because a lot of times when dogs start to go, they go into organ failure.
Yeah,
It's just something it happens, right? I'm not a vet. But the thing is when I got home that day, she could move, but she couldn't use her hind legs, and I just knew. So I carried her outside so she could use the bathroom. And this is a big dog. It was a very big dog, very big German Shepherd. Put her on the couch, and she's blind. She'd been blind for years. And I stayed, it was a Friday night, and I stayed with her until she was gone. And it was the most heart-wrenching thing I've ever been through, but I'm so fucking glad I did it.
yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like I see a lot of people say things like, you know, oh, I couldn't be in the room. It's like, no, you have to be
You
in the
have
room.
to be. They give you their life, and it's like, I have a friend of a friend that's like, oh, my dog is really old and he's pooing everywhere, so I'm just gonna go and to put him down. I go like, I really wish that you don't get into a car crash because your kid's gonna be like, just put her down,
Yeah,
right?
just put her down.
Disconnect her, and yeah, I also now walks every 2 3 hours. I wake up at 3 4 a.m. in the morning to walk him.
Yeah.
And does it bother me? Yes.
Yeah,
Do I complain
absolutely.
against him? No, because I'm his only help, right? And he's been with me 18 freaking years. So I was 2 years old when I have him.
Well, no, and see, like when my cat got sick, it was very much the same thing. Like I was ready for my cat to go. Like
Yeah.
I had gotten to that point mentally, but it was like I've got to be sure. Turns out, I mean, it wasn't ungodly expensive because I mean it was something that I could afford, but it was just like, God damn. But you know, and my vet's fucking awesome because they worked with me. They were like, you know, we can shave a little bit here. This is what we recommend. So we're not just like bleeding you dry. This is what we think it is. So this is, you know, it could be this and this, but I'll be honest, if it's not this, then he's got weeks, not years. So there's not really much point, you know, because if he's not positive for this, it's cancer or leukemia, in which case, in the state he's in, you know, he's got weeks. So
Yeah.
we're gonna test him for FIV, and it turns out he's FIV positive and just had an infection. So antibiotics and steroids later,
Oof,
he's
he's still here.
yeah, he's a new cat. Yeah, and actually, it was
Yeah.
funny. He was on steroids for a long time, and
And now he's
he,
pumping jacks.
well, at the time he's not on them anymore. But at the time, like he was a burly little mean little fuck. He
They're like,
slapped
why
me,
the fuck is my knee?
dude. So he does this thing in the morning to wake me up. He'll like softly, you know, like annoy my face.
Oh, yeah.
When he was on the roids, he slapped me. Just bah! I was like, you
Everything.
motherfucker.
That's funny, man. Sorry if I'm coughing. My throat just realized that I was recording for 3 hours.
No, you're good. You're good. But enough of this. Enough of the niceties. Unless you got
Yeah,
something else
just
to add.
yeah. I want to add something. If you don't feel a shed of what we just said, is because you never got a real mascot, or because you're not a human being. So I'm gonna say something. Regardless of anything, I will never had another dog, man. I can't handle it. I
Until
really
one
can't.
walks up to you on the street and
No. That's how Ozzy got to me 18
I
years
know.
ago. I'm not. Period. I will
I know,
save
dude.
him.
I know, dude.
Okay, you
Here's
know how much is insurance from Ozzy monthly? How much you think is his full insurance because of his age? Even he's healthy. Well,
oh, for like pet insurance?
Yeah, how much do you think it is?
2,000.
1,150. It's like what? I could buy a freaking Lamborghini, at least a Lamborghini with that amount. It's like I think that that's really abusive because they know we care about the dogs, right?
Well,
But
but
it's
I
a
mean, see,
stupid amount. That's a rent in many states, man.
yeah, I agree. For a pet, that seems really steep. That seems really expensive. You
It's
might
really expensive.
you might check out Lemon. I don't
I
know much
already
about
check
them.
everything.
Oh, did you really?
Everyone, that app that give you all that's the cheapest option because of his age. If I got that insurance when he was a baby,
Yeah.
it will be 800. It's like, dude, it's like that's unreal. I don't know how much you pay for insurance but it's not even close to 200, right? As a person a month. The dog is
Oh no, it's well over 200.
really, no, I don't even know mine.
Unless you're low enough income where you can get something from like the
Yeah,
healthcare exchange,
but you
but
don't pay at $1,000 for you, man.
no.
No, so it's weird that they exploit it like that. Now, if I go to the vet right now just to check him out, it will be $5,000 to $6,000,
See,
and I
that's why
think
I love
that's too
my vet.
much.
You know what my it's the exam, but the exam cost my and it's not a low cost vet either. $130.
Well, but see, that's decent. Just to wash Aussie, just to clean him and check him out is $300. And I'm
Yeah,
not in LA. In LA was cheaper in LA. I don't know what's going on here.
yeah, and
Anyway,
actually a couple I'm just shouting out my vet.
yeah.
Um Southpaw Vet Clinic, by the way. They're fucking awesome if you're in Indianapolis. They're the best. But they actually waived the exam fee a couple times because there was a period of a couple months where I was in and out of there like almost every other week, just keeping an eye on him and all that shit. And they waived the exam fee so many times.
Yeah.
You know, it
So
was it was great.
just for the record, he's not jerking off. He's actually petting his dog,
Yeah, it's
his
my
cat.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
just
I'm
show
I'm
show
playing with my
everyone that is your cat because it just looked like this for a second.
I'm playing with my pussy right now.
There you go. You're disgusting.
My
Uh,
hairy
so,
gray pussy.
so just for the record, and this is to all the vets out there. If you are really nice and doing the best that you can, uh,
I don't know how
thank
you
you and
do it.
congratulations. But if you're those kind of guys that just want to drag money, right? Just go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'll
Seriously.
be honest. I don't know how the good vets do it because there's many people that come in and are just motherfucker. If the worst don't even go to the vet. So because they don't give a shit. But like, goddamn, I don't know how you people do it. You're all
Anyway,
saints. Anyway,
talking
enough with the
about talking about
niceties.
yeah, talking about the animals. I got an animal in front of me called Jake Boger that he doesn't like the new version of Star Wars. And we've been dragging this the whole years. And this is serious, Jake. Shut the fuck up, dude. They're not bad movies. I rewatched them again.
Okay,
They're not bad.
first of all, yes, they are. But I'm specifically shitting on The Last Jedi because here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this is probably the nicest thing I'm going to say about it all night. The Force Awakens is not my cup of tea, but I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. They're trying to go a different direction. I get it. I've got some issues with it, but I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. It's just a movie I don't particularly like. The Rise of Skywalker is a bad movie, but it's not their fault because they had to clean up the mess that Rian Johnson made with The Last Jedi. So they did the best they could with what they had. The Last Jedi is not only the worst Star Wars property ever made, it's a legitimately bad movie. In
Okay, why is a bad movie? Just tell me why. Let's go step by step.
It's mostly the script. Like there's nothing technically wrong with it. It looks good. The
Okay,
visual
thank you.
effects are good. Like I'm not cutting up the hardware it's the software problem. The script is shit. Rian Johnson set out to make a movie to troll Star Wars fans and they
But
let him do it.
why?
Because he's an incompetent dumb fuck who just got in there was like, "Hey, I'm gonna show all you guys. You like laser swords and shit." And yes, Luke actually uses the phrase laser sword in the movie. Don't believe me? Go watch it again.
No, no, he does laser sword.
Yeah, the whole thing, anytime they come, with the exception of the end, and even the rug gets pulled out from under you with that, it's just not comedically. Every time they get close to having a genuinely good moment in that movie, they fuck it up with a really, really bad attempt at a joke a la MCU, but the jokes don't land because Star Wars isn't Marvel.
No, and no matter what they say, Star Wars is not for kids. They made it for kids to sell figures and lunch boxes and whatever promotional. But the movie is not for kids. It's a really sad, bad story of a dysfunctional family that it was abused by power of and politics. It's a drama. Now, I want you to go step by step, not generally. Why? Just tell me that moment in order, in chronological order of the movie. What moment is like the first one you went, ah?
That's tough because I tried to watch it again last night. I got about halfway through it and turned it off because I was fucking bored. It's not a good movie. But I gotta say, probably the first moment that I went, oh fuck, no, was when Luke throws the lightsaber away. Because
So
the
minute three when
yeah, the opening space battle's not bad. It's got some moments that are kind of like, this doesn't feel like Star Wars. Like the main conflict begins with a your mama joke, but the Star Wars equivalent. And I will say this because I unfairly criticized the movie because I was ignorant when I first saw it, because I said bombs don't drop in space. They do if you're
they
close
do.
enough to a planet.
Yeah,
So
the orbit
I
of
was
the
wrong.
planet will drive it.
I was wrong about that. But
Okay,
I
the first scene. Let me go to the first scene.
go for it.
I think that is good, and it shows a side of the pilot. His name, sorry,
Poe Dameron,
Paul Dameron. I always forget his name for every reason. No one. Poe.
because he's
Show,
unmemorable and a carbon copy of of only the mediocre parts of Luke Skywalker.
funny. He has actually the mediocre parts of Han Solo.
Okay, fair. That's valid. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna go there just for a second. I want you to understand that these three movies, they put all the factors of the previous ones, melted, and they pour it out. Paul Dameron is Han Solo. Stay with me. Stay with me.
I'm saying, I'm
Uh,
saying.
she is Luke, and the black dude is Leia in their personalities. That's how they are. They just
Yeah,
make
yeah,
it
yeah.
different because they needed to change. But in the contract, Lucas' contract says that they could not part far, so they were like chained to something. Obviously, we have the new Darth Vader, the new Emperor. There's a lot of things there to decode. Just stay with me. Yes, I'm with you, but if you remember, Yoda, the Luke Skywalker that we're looking at is not the Luke Skywalker, the hero. He's like Yoda.
Yeah.
He's a retrieve guy that is like, the food. He's doing exactly the same because stay with me, stay with me. That's how he learned to test, because that's the way that he was tested by Yoda. She comes and say, Luke Skywalker, she's expecting the Great Warrior. The Great Warrior is depressed and done because he's lost his nephew. The same that Yoda was depressed and done. And if you remember at the beginning of the Empire Strike Back, when they go to Dagobah, Yoda is stupid and annoying and says stupid things like, how you sick? It's the same pod. Just put it again. So we're not looking at Skywalker, and I invite you to see that. We're looking at all Skywalker that is imitating his example called Yoda. Go ahead, because he throws that.
Yeah. So just to okay, how do I start with this? Like you're right. They threw it in a pot and reformed it. The problem is, and I don't have an issue with doing that, by the way. I think it's kind of the only way you can continue the saga because it's noted The Force Awakens is essentially A New Hope, just
Yes,
retold.
exactly. New
Yeah,
Hope.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
The
that's
Last
fine.
Jedi
That's fine.
is a combination between the Empire Strike Back and the Return of the Jedi. Is a combination, and
Mhm.
then the first two acts, the first act of uh, the Rise of the Skywalker, right, is the last part of the Empire. Sorry, the Return of the Jedi, and then the New Resolution. That is when they come with their Jacob things. And again, I'm an extremely fan of Star Wars. I will defend them, but I understand the media part, the cinematography part, the studio part, and they mess it up part.
Yeah.
I like a lot of things, and we're gonna go back to the movie that we're talking about. But the simple fact that they say that rarely the Force have that bifurcation to have those two ends connected, I like that a lot, because at that moment you can see that they were free of
See,
what
I
they're
liked
supposed
that.
to see.
I
Yeah.
liked that part too. I think they didn't fuck it up. I don't think they took it as far as they should have. But here's my thing about the melting pot, like you said. That's true. But what they created badly.
Yes, I'm not saying that they're the best Star Wars movie. No, they're aging correctly, Jake. I don't know
That's
why.
probably true.
When I watched the episode 1, 2, and 3 lately, I go like, oh, they're not that bad. They make sense now with the politics that we're living now. In 5, 7, 8 years,
Maybe.
this one gonna be, because society's adapting. I think that they are gonna be. I think that they're done and construct for millennials, and that's not gonna hit on us. But they're supposed to hit on you. But we talked about that before. But they're gonna hit for the next generation. Why? Because they have all the fundamental parts of a successful movie.
So there
They
is.
don't put it
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Right.
Well, no, there's an interesting and there is a technical term for it. I can't remember what it is because I always lose my memories on a podcast. But basically, the it's not really a theory, but it's kind of like a perception, is that the past is always better than the present and future. Insofar as, like, for example, because I always criticize Kylo Ren about being Darth Vader light, that's unavoidable because you've already had Darth Vader. I understand that. My problem is that they sort of, and it's a real shame because when Adam Driver is good with Kylo Ren, I'm not saying he's bad. Okay, let me rephrase. When the movies are good with Kylo Ren, Adam Driver shines through so well. But when they fuck it up, it just because okay, in this movie, there's a scene where Snoke flat out says, "You're no Darth Vader. You're just a kid playing dress up with a mask." And then he goes into the elevator, fucking cries, and throws a hissy fit.
But why?
I get that.
But
I
why?
get
Why
it.
he's doing that? Why that stupid snog, smoke, push motherfucker? Why he does that?
I mean, to make Kylo Ren angry.
Why? Because that's the way to ignite the dark side of the force. Because
Yeah.
he noticed that the loss of his father, right, is pushing him to have doubt. And the only way, because if you remember the Emperor, we have a comment? No.
Yeah, Justin, he says that's true. There's an entire generation of little girls who love Rey, and it's hard to be mad about that. I agree. I just would have preferred it if Rey's character had been written like a good, well written character.
Well, let's finish Kylo Ren, and then
Yeah,
we
yeah,
go
yeah,
with
yeah.
Rey. Hi, Justin. Um, Kylo Ren, if you remember, the Emperor, when he changed the limbs of Anakin, he put an old suit, and the boots even have spikes to make him angry and pain all the time.
Hmm.
We don't have that possibility here. The only weak side of Kylo Ren is his ego and the love for his mother and father. Why? Because he went following their dreams. Well, Leah's dream, as always, Leah fucks everything in Star Wars. Everything. Everything.
Including
Um,
space.
everything. And you're right, they try to fix a lot of mistakes. But if you see it from the perspective of the new bad emblem or symbol of evil, right? He's trying to make him angry with his with with damaging his ego. That's what he told him. You're just a little kid. It's not that he's a little kid. It's the way that and I ask this to all the audience. Have you ever had that person in life for sure that doesn't matter what they say, it really hurts you? Like you can look at yourself in the mirror and go like, shit, I look awesome today. But if that particular person says, are you gaining weight? You feel like shit. That's the master in the dark side with the seeds. It will never be supportive. It never will loving. Now, I agree with you. I don't like Luke till somebody explain me. It's not Luke. He's imitating Yoda.
Well, see, here's the thing though. I would have been okay if Luke was imitating Yoda, but that may have been, that's probably what Mark Hamill was channeling, but it's demonstrably not true in this film because he's not testing Rey. He's literally telling her to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly like Yoda. Tell him you're not
No,
ready. You are too old.
Yoda was testing him.
No. Actually, if you remember, he was saying that until Obi-Wan comes as a spirit and tell him, "Hey, motherfucker, green
No, because
motherfucker."
the first thing Yoda says is, "I can't train him."
Yeah, I can train him, but then he
Because he was
convinced him
testing him. I
and
know,
they
but
train him.
Yoda was testing him the whole time and
Yeah,
came to the
I,
conclusion that he couldn't train him.
yeah, but he's okay. If right now I move to Indiana, right? I'm gonna follow your path. Why? Oh, my little dog is here with me. Why? Because I'm following a pattern. I think that he was following the pattern of Yoda, but with the traumas of Luke. Now let's remember, all this nightmare that we're living, or that we live, is because Qui-Gon fucked it up.
No, Qui-Gon didn't fuck it up.
Qui-Gon fucked it up because he forced a just graduate Padawan to be the father figure of somebody without the experience, responsibility of knowledge how to be a father and a master trainer just because he kept his word. Now I'm really craving your Coca-Cola, so stop fucking drinking.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just kidding. Now, let's keep going into the same movie. Like I said,
Well, I got one point. I would begrudgingly agree with you if were it not for the fact that later in the movie, and this scene is so fucking stupid, which tells me that Rian Johnson doesn't know fucking anything about character development.
He's not a specialist in Star Wars, that's for sure.
Well, no, I mean just script writing, because there's also a really funny moment where Luke repeats himself, but it's not how do I explain this? Luke repeats basically the same line in the same scene, but not to reinforce it. It's almost like Rian Johnson in the script forgot that he wrote it like a couple lines above, because it's the same line. It's not like Luke doesn't say one thing, like Luke doesn't say the Jedi need to be gone. I don't remember what the line was verbatim, but you can watch it. It's when they're in the Rey has the vision and she sees the cave thing or whatever. But Luke first he says like the Jedi have to go. And then later he says it the same way as though it's the first time he said it. And it's just like, how the fuck did this get made? But okay. So all you said about Luke, I could maybe buy it were it not for the scene where Luke goes to burn down the Jedi Temple. But then in the same scene, he has this weird moment where he's like, well, what about the books? It's like, well, motherfucker, you were the one who were going to go set them on fire in the first place.
You're not the first person that make that mistake.
It's not a mistake. It's in the movie.
Listen to me. Now, listen to me. Luke, take the books that matter and go and hide them in the Millennium Falcon. A lot of people don't know this, Jake. And a lot of people
Why not? Because Rey finds them, but it doesn't make sense.
But wait. He goes and hide them one that matter, and he will burn the other one to create a statement because he understood that he wasn't prepared to be Yoda, right? And have a council, because his idea is to rebuild the school, right?
Right.
Obviously, taxes were killing him. I'm just kidding.
A great way to rebuild a school is don't try to murder your fucking students. That's a good. You'd have thought he'd learn that from his dad.
I know, but the dark side is always present in the Skywalker family. Stay with me. The reality is that he got this vision, and he went. Now, we have two stories of the side of the stories. To be honest, I believe Kylo Ren more than I believe the story of Luke. Why? Because Luke always have that since he's a kid. He's always got that. Oh, I can do everything. I can do everything. I can shoot a gun. I can, and I can't. I love the story, but
see, that's your problem. You don't care about the character assassination of Luke Skywalker because you don't like Luke Skywalker.
I don't like the Skywalker family.
I know, but most Star Wars fans do.
The only Skywalker of the family that I like is Anakin and Vader. The rest, I don't. Now, to support my point that I've been doing for this whole year, Luke Skywalker is a spoiled little brat that happened to have power to come to destroy the galaxy, and he did it once. And what he did this, chop his hand, get the fuck out. He didn't listen. He didn't listen. Let's rule the universe
Well,
together.
he didn't. I was gonna say he didn't tell him to get the fuck out. He told him to rule the universe.
Yeah, but he told, let's rule the universe together and create the balance. They destroy the emperor. No, I can do it by myself. Then I can do it by myself. He killed the poor pilot that was driving in the snow because I can do it. I know what to do it. The Luke Skywalker family, the second generation, Leia and Luke, they had this hero complex, and even they have the power and they have a lot of luck and the force in their side. They are not good leaders. They're not.
No. I mean, I'll give you that. I agree. It's demonstrably true. By the way, just a quick, like, this movie's bits at comedy are so bad at times. Like, in the movie, there's a moment where Rey's playing with a lightsaber because, let's be honest, that's what she's doing. She's playing with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
She's not practicing, she's playing with it. And then she cuts the rock, and that rock falls and almost kills two of those weird frog alien things. And it's played for a laugh. And I'm like, she literally almost just manslaughtered two complete strangers.
Let's talk about Rey, if you will.
Yeah, let's
I
talk about
think
Rey.
Rey is the most interesting character in the whole saga.
No,
Not
Kylo
because-
Ren is.
No, not for me. Not because the thing is she's force raw, Rey.
Yeah.
In the first fight with Kylo, in the previous one, The Force Awakens, the way that she grabs I remember I was with a hello to Frank Turofo, a dear friend of mine. We were in the Chinese theater premiere. I got the tickets. We were like, ah! And when she grabbed the sword like that, when I say fuck, she's a Sith. Tell me you're fucking crazy. Only Sith attack like that. Only Sith attack like that. Look at it. Only Sith attack like that, putting the sword in the back, right? And she's raw bad power, but she's raw a force without guidance. Yes, her training is not developed correctly. That's why she dies.
Well, her character's not. Wait, she doesn't die.
She dies, and then Kylo Ren.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't even get me started on that. But anyway,
we're gonna get to there.
Yeah. Well, that's in the last guy. But I will say this much: I actually liked the fact, and this is why one of the many reasons I'm so mad at Rian Johnson, because I think J.J. Abrams, to your point, I think J.J. Abrams intended from the beginning that she was going to be Rey Palpatine.
I'm pretty sure from the beginning she was Rey Palpatine.
I agree. I agree with that.
And just for the balance, because Kylo Ren is Skywalker, you needed the
Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. And that's a good subversion. Because Palpatine, historically Sith, Skywalker, well, I mean, not counting Anakin, but you know what I mean. Like, Skywalkers are normally the good guys. And to flip that, I think is a really interesting idea.
Skywalkers are the good guys. There are a bunch of rebels that doesn't want to follow rules of Empire. Now, hold a second. Everyone in history has been plotting against an empire because the result of history. An empire in Rome wasn't that bad. Was a lot of people happy. But hold a second. Until it went bad. Again, listen what I'm saying. There's always two sides of the story. Justin, help me out here. There's always two sides of a story. What is the reality, and what we read in the books of the winners that wrote those books. The empire, all the Middle Eve, was an empire, if I'm correct.
What was the middle what?
Eve.
The
kings.
Oh, medieval. Okay, I got you.
The medieval.
Well, not okay, but I get where you're going.
It was smaller empires.
Yeah.
They were fair. No, I'm not saying that they were fair.
Not even close.
No, they weren't fair, but they were working because that's the way that it works. Now you have these small rebels, comes from nowhere, leading by a freaking woman that now she's a general, and she's
she promoted herself.
Yeah, she promoted herself because everyone around her dies. That's what she. I mean, it's a good
Well,
way to be a villain.
it's like what do you want to do when you want to be a CEO but you're not good at anything? You make your own company.
You make your own company and you destroy every partner around you. Because it's unreal how a person that is totally unbalanced and hormonal and sad about the loss of Tsumi and the loss of his husband, the way that she manipulates Han from the first is unreal. It's like, dude, Han,
So,
before they kill you, go to TikTok, follow a couple of guys that are gonna tell you what egocentric manipulation passive aggressive is. Leia is the perfect example of passive aggressive.
yeah,
And the submission of Han when she told her, we gotta deal in our own way, we gotta grieve in our own way. That's the perfect guy. And what she says, bring him home. I know he's there. What do we have because of that? Han Solo's dead. And you know who suffers the most of in this whole movie?
oh, hang on,
Who?
don't tell me. Chewbacca.
Chewbacca is now let's remember something that I'm never gonna start repeating. Star Wars has all the characteristics from Shakespeare. All the characteristics. A family, damage, father against the son. Of course, we know about Kurosawa. We know that he inspires. But
Patricide.
there's a template of Shakespeare.
Incest.
There's the kiss, for God's sake.
Oh, they did more than kiss.
Oh yeah, totally. They bunk.
At least hand stuff.
Oh, totally. They
At
play
least
with the lightsaber.
at least hand stuff.
Now, can you imagine if they can do kind of stuff with the Force?
Okay, so oh god, okay, that's another thing. That's another thing.
Okay.
There's so many moments in this movie that I just like why? Like Luke does the weird pole vault thing, but the pole vault thing turns out to be a fishing spear that's like fucking 70 feet long, and for some reason he feels the need to fish that way when he has the fucking force, he can just lift the fish out the water and fucking force choke it if he wanted to.
There's a book that explains that the Force is not to be used for personal.
I get that, but even if you're going to yeah, okay, fair enough. And I get that philosophy. But even if you're gonna fish, why is he doing it that way? None of this shit makes sense. It's pure eye candy, but it's stupid. I can get behind eye candy. Hell, basically every lightsaber duel in the prequel trilogy was eye candy, right? But I mean, I can get behind eye candy, but stupid eye candy that's done for no reason. And it's like, that was a hard shot to shoot. That's stuntmen. That's VFX. That's, polishing over, getting rid of all the fucking wires and shit. Like, why? It makes no fucking sense.
There's a lot of scenes that they don't make sense, but again, I'm inviting you to think about Yoda, and let's not forget something, man. Anakin grew up from 10 to 21 in a city, in an urban.
Mm-hmm.
Luke is a fucking farmer, dude. Let's not forget about that. Not because he got the ways of the Force, that means that he was an educated man. He's not, because he didn't went to the council. He didn't went to the Jedi school. So he's like a bouncer in a club. He has the power to see who's go in and out, but he doesn't have the power to open the club, the knowledge to manage a club. He doesn't. His biggest mistake is thought, because of the Force, that he was going to be able to create a funny thing, I'm going to say it, an empire to build new Jedis.
Yeah.
Because
an empire.
That's funny, right? I'm not saying that I'm correct with you, but I think that there's a lot of layers to decoding the movie before we say it's a bad movie.
Well, okay, I get it. There's a lot of ways you can decode the movie, but at the end of the day, it's just a poorly written script. There are so many things.
I think that was a script, an assumption script, I will call it. They're assuming that we watched the first three, that they watched the Work Awakens, and there's a legacy of knowledge. I know, and
See, no, I understand what you're saying, but that's not what I'm talking about. So let me jump ahead a bit because I think this epitomizes the issues more than anything. Space Vegas.
Okay.
That
I knew that you
whole
were gonna come here.
well, but okay, here and I would love for somebody to explain to me how that I'm not even going to call it a scene because it's a sequence. Like it's in a very, very long and extended sequence.
It's the end of the second act. Yeah.
Well, but it goes, first of all, it's far too, it shouldn't be in the script because nothing happens. Literally nothing happens.
Well,
Nothing.
they found
Well,
the
that whole subplot goes nowhere because it
I
doesn't
think
do
that
anything.
subplot was just to
No,
create a
no,
space between.
that subplot is Ryan Johnson for some reason in a Star Wars movie trying to shoehorn in the worldview that both the First Order and the Resistance are bad because violence. And it's like that in the real world, fine. Yeah, there's a lot of gray shades. There is a military industrial complex, but this is Star Wars, and one of these sides, I would remind you, is literally destroying planets. The other
Yeah.
side is trying to stop that. This is not the place for
Like the
that moral
government in
play.
the guerrilla in Colombia, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the real world. This is Star Wars.
I got what
There
you're
is
saying.
there is
I think that
clearly a good
subplot
side.
was the idea, but I think that
Well, that and
was
actually, you know what? I meant to look
was
this
to
up. Is
create a
Ryan?
space.
Yeah,
Sorry, it was just to create a space between Ray and what is the Bish? Why I always keep
the
forgetting
fish,
the name?
Finn.
The black guy, Finn. I always keep forgetting their names. And now let me tell you something. I'm an extremely fan, but the names are really bad.
They're really bad.
Like Finn, Poe, and Ray. Like, dude, what would you ask your kid of 2 years old to name the characters? Right?
I mean, yeah, kinda.
But
It's what it
listen,
seems like.
Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Ray, Finn, Poe Dameron. You see, it's not balanced. Well, again, the movie is a consequence of the society and the living that we're doing today. Simple fact that I really don't know what he's directing the movie and what he wrote the movie. I'm a totally fascinated and I support the idea that the writer needs to direct the movie. He's capable to, because the perception will be clear. But I think they needed to open a space between Finn and Ray. That's what that scene is about. And to keep the legacy. What happened?
I was right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ryan Johnson is a fucking vegan. Oh, okay. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna. That's not okay. Hang on. Ryan, Ryan, not Brian. Okay, hang on. I misread because I that whole scene makes me think he's a fucking vegan.
That's funny.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, he is not vegan. They
Well,
told me somebody named Brian Johnson was vegan. So I was about to be like, I bet this motherfucker's vegan because that whole thing is like, be mean to horses. They don't like to run. Now I get it. I'm not saying you should like electroshock the horses like they do in the movie, but like fucking really, the Space Vegas segment was so bad, so stupid.
it
And
was.
but here's the other thing too. So the prequel trilogies make a valid point about slavery as a concept. You know, the Jedi even say, or I think it's actually Padme. Padme says slavery is outlawed in the Republic, and then Shmi says the Republic doesn't exist out here. Okay, fair enough. This fucking Space Vegas planet is not exactly off the beaten path. Everybody knows it exists, and yet there's fucking slavery there. The fuck? This is Joker 2 with the chamber pots all over again.
No,
This
no, no.
just
Don't
doesn't
go that
fucking
bad.
make
Come on.
sense.
Don't go
It
that bad,
just doesn't
please.
make any fucking sense.
Well, but let me ask you something. If a movie costs you $317 million and
It
it
should be
makes
good.
$1.3 billion, and we've been talking about this since 2017, is that really bad, or it was a
Yeah,
calculated
it
damage?
well, okay, yes and no, but here's my thing, and I can't remember if I discussed it here. I think I discussed this with Justin. I have sort of a tool that I use when I'm trying to assess if a franchise film is a good movie or not. And here it is. Take a movie like The Last Jedi, and in your mind, it's a thought experiment, and it's hard to do. It's really hard to do. But take out all the Star Wars elements. Like, make this a generic sci fi movie that stands on its own. If it's still good, then it's a good movie. If it fucking sucks and the only reason people like it is because there's familiar things with it, it's a bad movie. I did this with Godzilla Minus One, by the way.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. But you cannot do that with a Star Wars.
Sure,
Because
you can.
actually, the Last Hope is a really bad script.
Wait, which one?
The New Hope.
Oh no. See,
It's
I
a bad script.
disagree. No, and see, here's the thing.
It's an
That's
it's an
not fair.
incomplete script.
It's a new movie though. So you don't have to do that exercise with A New Hope because it's a new movie. It was the first one ever made. So it was a new property. There was no pre-established lore or recognized characters. So the fact that A New Hope was successful demonstrates that it's a good story and a good movie and a good script. This movie, if you took out all the Star Wars elements, there's so many characters that do stupid things. Like, don't even get me started on Rose. Like, holy fuck.
Why Ryan Johnson was selected to do this movie?
I don't know. I assume he sucks a mean dick.
I mean, because if you look his whole thing,
He doesn't have a huge filmography, no.
well, he does, but
Well, no, even
everything
even
that he
today
does,
it's what,
Glass
9
Onion,
movies?
Glass Onion is a complicated, stupid movie.
That was
Knives,
afterward though.
yeah, either way, Knives Out is a stupid, complicated movie. Poker Face is a stupid, complicated TV series. Hit Record on TV is a complicated, like who give him the job?
Well, okay, Kathleen Kennedy probably gave him the job. So like I said, I assume he sucks a mean dick.
No, but Kathleen Kennedy is not. Yeah,
No, but I'm looking at his filmography before The Last Jedi.
yeah, no, I'm looking at it.
There's not much there.
No, it's not too much. How he got there?
That's what I'm saying. He sucks great dick.
Yeah, but if he was so good, he will be directing other kind of movies, not Star Wars in that level.
I'm Oh, for fuck's sake.
Go ahead.
They've got him directing 3 Star Wars movies.
Which ones?
They're untitled. They're upcoming. Untitled Star Wars Trilogy Episode 1, 2, and 3. He's directing all of them. Did you learn nothing, Disney?
No, because they make $1.3 billion.
Because it's Star Wars, though.
The only thing I know is that the actress that played Rey, she's gorgeous when she's not Rey.
I know, right?
Daisy Ridley, I never saw her without being Rey. I open IMDb right now. Whoever doesn't believe me, go to the IMDb and look at her headshot. It's like, holy moly. I understand that people don't like it, right? He directed no. He directed The Last Jedi. That's it, right? That's the only one that he directed.
Of Star Wars thus far, yes.
So where you see that he got more movies coming?
It's in IMDb. It's in his upcoming projects. So hopefully they take that away from him.
Yeah, no, probably they just put.
You know what though, and I will say this though. I will say this though. Given the right story, and if he had all 3 movies, he might actually make something worthwhile.
Maybe.
I doubt it, but because I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Knives Out. I'm not saying it's bad because there's a lot of people that like it though. It's definitely not my cup of tea.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I don't like his sense of humor. I think he's.
I want to do something with you. I want to read the reviews of people, normal people, right? The death of a franchise. The Last Jedi is well-made film. It's visually stunning and well-directed.
Yeah.
The plot problem is the site single-handedly ruined the sequel trilogy by closing the second chapter with a dead end. There are truly baffling characters' decision, awkward humor, useless subplots, and by far the most frustrating Star Wars movie of the potential it had it. If we're 20 minutes shorter, it could be something special. But the last act sees our characters in the same spots as they begin. As a standalone movie, it's watchable. A second part of trilogy is a disaster. Jake Boger. No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't.
Well, no, I have one for you because this
Okay.
is they even hate it in Germany. Es ist einfach nur eine Beleidigung an jedem, der Star Wars mag oder kennt. Flache Charaktere, Lücke, de Lachsumme zu machen, ist einfach nur eine Sünde. Ich hasse diesen Film und jeder, der Star Wars kennt oder mag, wird ihn auch hassen. Which, translated to English, I just had to read the German because it sounds angry.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't that angry.
Yes, it
He
was.
got a lot of fish.
It's just an insult to anyone who likes or knows Star Wars. Flat characters making Luke a laughingstock is just a sin. I hate this movie, and everyone who knows or likes Star Wars will hate it too. I prefer the German review.
Okay, almost garbage. Destiny Life 52 says Star Wars The Last Jedi is a huge disappointment to a long-time Star Wars fan, such as myself. The rebel resistance are on the run, hunted by the evil First Order ruled by the dark side. Daisy Ridley, who plays a young woman strong with the Force, seeks a Jedi Master, who is hiding and begs for help to fight against the First Order and maybe train her to be a Jedi. Sound a little bit like The Empire Strikes Back, right? Why not? The Force Awaken was similar to A New Hope. I mean, this is an eternal thing. We have another one. Worst Star Wars movie. My issue with storytelling is Last Star getting without hyperbole. Yeah, it doesn't have hyperbole. Wow. Okay, this person give them 9 of a 10. Are you ready? Amazed by the negativity. I walk out of this movie with 6 friends at 3 a.m. in the morning, and all of them were wired from adrenaline of amazement. And as they check IMDb and say nothing but angry fans, providing that they were really not pleased and organized fandom, everyone complained mildly about how unoriginal and safe The Force Awakens was. And then a movie comes along with an action point of view with incredible, unique style, anything that has come before the serial, that it was very refreshing and original, and now it's just too different for everyone. Thought some of the complaints are fair, namely that one major subplot turns to be a large digression. I get that. This was so surprising and thoughtful and fresh that it was frankly makes The Force Awakens better by recontextualizing. This movie has something to say if people were take a moment to listen rather to get pissy that it wasn't what they were expecting. I agree with that.
I would, except for the fact that it's just a bad movie. It's not, it's the script, man. It's the script and it's the character assassination. Even Mark Hamill said it was a mistake.
Yeah, but Mark Hamill is a fucking asshole.
Okay, here's the thing, though. I agree. I don't agree with Mark Hamill on much, but when it comes to Luke Skywalker...
But now I'm going to tell you something. Whoever that has an opportunity in life, like Mark Hamill, to play Star Wars, fuck his life because he was a stupid alcoholic. Give a second chance on The Empire Strikes Back, and then talk shit about the franchise that make him famous, is a fucking asshole, bro.
Well, he's not really talking shit about the franchise. He's talking shit about this movie because it's bad.
It doesn't matter, man. You don't
it
buy
does.
the
It
hand
does.
that gives you it.
No, you do if it's a... Okay, so here... See, no, I disagree. Because you're telling the guy who played Luke Skywalker, fucked your character.
He didn't wrote it.
No, but he acted it, and he
just read a script and put a voice in it.
He didn't just read a script, and you know he didn't just read a script.
Actors are not writers. Actors, yes. But how many books have you read from Mark Hamill? How many scripts? Or how many have been done? 0. You know why?
Because so you think an actor doesn't have any
I say an actor that is a writer, an actor that is a producer, yes. A single actor that makes voices, I don't think that he got a say in the character.
So Daniel Day-Lewis doesn't have a say in any of the movies he's in or any of the characters he plays?
Listen to me. Daniel Day-Lewis is a real actor. He's not a sci-fi guy.
Mark Hamill's not a real actor?
It's not compared to what you just say. Come on, man. You just try to send a trap on me. That's entrapment. It's not the same. You cannot call the same Andy Serkis, right, to the guy that played Kramer, right?
Actually, you can. Actually,
you can because of the moment, but it's not the same. because Andy
Yes, it
Serkis.
is. Yes, it is.
It's
Because
not
the
the
motion
same.
capture technology captures his
I'm
face
the one
and
that
his
I was a
acting
manager and an
choices.
agent. Trust me, they're actors. No, all of them. Listen to me. They're actors that they're writers, and actors that they're producers, and actors that are directors. Yes, but a characteristic specific actor like Mark Hamill that he's really good creating voices, amazingly good creating voices, and decent, half decent as an actor, can't say that. Not about the character that gave him the fame that he didn't deserve. You really tell me that he's acting correctly in The New Hope? He's not acting good.
No,
Dude.
but it's George Lucas, man. Nobody can act that
Come
fucking
on,
dialogue.
you're gonna really gonna criticize George Lucas?
Yes, I will.
What?
Okay,
We're
here,
talking about this
hear
guy
me, hear me out, hear me out.
after he released something.
This is George Lucas, okay? This is George Lucas. I don't like sand. It's coarse and uncomfortable, and it gets everywhere.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
Okay.
like sand
You know why George Lucas didn't act his movies?
because he knew better.
Because he knew that he wasn't a good actor.
Okay, fair enough.
He brought a young kid with a small budget, and I really don't think that Mark Hamill. Tell me what else Mark Hamill did, please. Humor me.
The Joker,
The voice, not the voiceovers. Before that,
the Trickster.
come on, dude. Give me a role that was worth it to watch by Mark Hamill.
Cockknocker.
Bro, he's a bad actor.
Is he though?
He's a really bad actor. His face doesn't explain anything. His accent is really, he's the same with, oh, I'm going to poop with, oh, I'm going to die. Ah, he's a bad actor. Now he's a writer. Now, not because you play a character, you have the right to talk. He's like I don't think it's fair. I think that the less talented actor in that movie was the Tom and then Luke Skywalker in that whole trilogy. But anyway, I don't think that it's fair that he talks shit about the franchise or the movie that he was involved. Because if we remember, Mark Hamill wasn't doing shit. He was out of shape and just making voices. And they give him a chance to come back. Okay, let me explain you something. Look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, same movie, same chance, same opportunity. Who fucking explode?
What do you mean who spoke? I'm not following.
Explode. Who became big?
I mean, arguably
Harrison.
all of them, but Harrison Ford was already a known actor, though. That's not really a fair comparison.
What are you talking about? He made one movie before Star Wars.
No, he made more movies than that. I mean, nothing.
You want to bet? You want to bet?
Yeah.
You want
American Graffiti, motherfucker.
That's it. Yeah, American Graffiti, and he wasn't a lead character in American Graffiti. He did American Graffiti, and that's it. That's it. That's how he knows George Lucas. Because he worked in the set and he got a small part. But my point is that he was a unique actor. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, bro, sorry, is not a good actor. I don't feel comfortable criticizing. Now, he got more right of criticizing this than you and me. That's for sure. Right? But I don't think it's good that he talks shit about the opportunity that he got. He never was big after Star Wars, right?
Yeah, Mark Hamill was never really, I would never say he was an A-lister other than Star Wars.
He was A-lister for voices. Now, in voices, he's fantastic. Now, he's better than better for voices. But he did one episode of Blue Peter, one episode of Fridays. He played himself in The Return of the Ewok. One episode of Our Magazine. Should I keep going? Okay, well, he played himself in The 100 Stars Night in 1985. He didn't do anything else. I don't know why. Because he's not an awful actor. The Game Master.
So he had all that Star Wars money coming in.
Not because of that. You know what happened between A New Hope and Empire Strike Back, right? With him. Do you know that? Maybe the audience doesn't know. He was drinking heavily and he got a car crash that messed the right side of his face. That's why they wrote the script that the beast hit his face so they can actually show, because he was a really pretty boy in the first one, and the second one you can see his face a little crooked because he crashed, because he was Luke Skywalker. I guess the Force didn't control the car and he crashed. He was drinking, using drugs. Nobody's gonna love you, no matter how big you are in Hollywood, if you mess it up like that.
He didn't use the Force.
I guess he forced himself into something.
Well, I can say I still believe The Last Jedi sucks, but you know what doesn't suck, Virus?
Please.
Our friends at Stevie Wicks. In fact, they don't suck
Stevie
so much.
Wicks!
They don't
Yeah.
suck so much that you should go, well, not right now, but after you're done. Second link in the description. The first one is to vote for us in the Artie Awards and fucking do it. But the holidays are coming up and you need to get presents because I know you. You're a procrastinating fuck. You still don't have gifts. Well, guess what? Everybody loves candles. It's the gift that you can't fuck up. And even these, people that have a paraffin allergy, fuck off. These are soy. Don't need them. And if you have somebody with a soy allergy, fuck off. Just request paraffin and they'll make it for you. There's no excuse. Buy the Christmas candles and the Hanukkah candles. So even if you're Jewish, you have no excuse. Fuck off. Buy the Hanukkah candles. And if you use promo code ToonTalk, you save 10% off your entire order at checkout.
And you can put in your order, fuck off, Jake.
Yeah, you can. They'll know what
awesome.
they'll know what you mean. So get your Stevie
The code
Wicks
is
Christmas
fuck
candles.
yourself, Jake.
No, the code
That's
is
the code.
ToonTalk.
Oh.
I want the code to work for them.
I got a question for you in The Last Jedi.
Okay.
Why Carrie Fisher's nose looks so inflamed and different than in every movie that ever existed? Have you noticed that?
Wait, what now?
I'm serious. Her nose is really big and inflamed, like he was a lot. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know, and I seen those movies so many times. But seriously, you can see her face is so bloated and inflamed, and her nose, you see, it even looked like this. It's like,
Pretty sure she was drinking fairly heavily because she read that script and was like, "Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me! I float through space."
The character that stayed more close to the original character was her. The float in the space, I didn't get it. Now that I hate. I give you that. You can destroy that part as much as you want.
Because it was fucking stupid.
So my question is,
why did any Jedi ever die when they get, obviously if they don't blow up with their ship, but if there's like a cruiser that gets destroyed, how did Jedi die? How?
Well,
and
technically, she
for that matter,
used the force of the door to pull herself back. She didn't flew.
Okay, I know, I understand that, but how did any Jedi die if they found themselves in space? However,
like,
and in fact,
a Green Lantern, some of them they don't have the imagination of a human.
Well, okay, so by virtue of that logic too, you're telling me that throughout the entire history of the Jedi, nobody figured out that they could heal themselves with the fucking Force?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Because everything evolves. I remember that I was thinking to myself, everything evolves, Jake. And what we've seen is an evolution of the Force. Now,
the Force never changed. It's the wielders.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yes, but let's go to a simple fact like basketball, right?
Okay.
The rules of the basketball don't change. The game is simple. You bounce the ball to walk, you put the ball in the basket. It's really simple, right? The way that the guys play in 1940, throwing the ball like this, and the way that they throw it now is just the evolution of the game. Why? Because of the players. Because it's more competitive, different defenses. I think that this is the same example that could be used with the Force.
Right, but if you're going to do an apples to apples comparison with Force healing in basketball, you would have players go on the field and be able to levitate the fucking basketball with their head.
No. But if you see Stephen Curry making 17 triples in a game, Larry Bird didn't do that. Come on, comparison. I know you want to trap me to make me look bad. I know that's your job. But comparison is like the way that Michael Jordan jumped in the 80s and 90s, they weren't similar to Will
Okay.
Chamberlain, that he was making more points.
Okay. I understand your point, and I'm going to use it to prove you wrong about the Force. Okay.
You
So,
don't want to prove me wrong about the Force.
fuck off. Yes, I do. So here's the thing, though.
You don't
Your
want to.
your point is valid. It absolutely is. But here's the problem with it. So in Star Wars, in the canon universe, you see a phenomenon which again there's a technical term for it. I can't remember it, but basically it's when a culture degenerates because it disappears. Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to see the Oracle. I'm
Okay,
here, I'm
gotcha.
here.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure. So in the prequels, when the prequels came out, the Jedi are able to do a lot more impressive shit, which in reality was because we had better visual effects. But in story, there's a lot more force pushing. There's a lot more, like using the force to augment jumping, stuff like that. That makes sense because this is the Jedi Order at the height of its power. And since the fall, a lot of the knowledge of the Force and even what is possible is lost.
I got a theory there. You
Okay,
know how the Wi-Fi works?
the Wi-Fi, yeah,
Wi-Fi in a house.
yeah.
It's like a water faucet. The water comes, more devices, the speed will nivelates, right? To feed all, but it's not as powerful as if you have one device downloading anything, right? What
Oh,
if it's the
okay,
same
okay.
circumstance? What if less users of the force is more force now? The pinnacle, look at a beautiful word. The pinnacle
Pinnacle. That is a good word.
of the force is the Skywalkers. They're the chosen one. They're the Neo. Now, Anakin was Neo. His sons and his daughter, that they're equal, are it's not the second pinnacle. That's really stupid to say, but it's the second level of the force. Now, at this point, we don't know that there's more Jedis, but they're not even 5% of all the Jedis that there were. What if it's like Wi-Fi? You become more powerful.
Okay, you know what? I'll buy that. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
I'll buy
Thank you.
that.
You see, this actually worked.
It's
The
still
gesture
contrived.
of
It's still contrived as fuck. But I think my biggest problem with it is that it wasn't properly explained. Because let's say, for example,
I agree with
that
you.
yeah, it just wasn't properly
Hey, look
explained.
who's here. The Oracle is here, hopefully to help me and not to destroy me.
Oh no,
Welcome, Oracle, to
he's
Toon Talk 2.2.
he's gonna fuck you
2.0.
up.
Are you there?
Hey, yeah.
So, welcome to this conversation. It's been really intense. We're not keeping a score, but I think so far Jake is 3. I got 2 points.
Carne sin verdura, por favor.
He's ordering
Y el
tacos,
maíz,
just for everyone to know.
el caldo y
Well,
el maíz.
He's ordering a
El
soup.
caldo de maíz, you adventurer, you.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
so we're talking about The Last Jedi. Can you tell us your perception of The Last Jedi?
All right. So, starting from, all right. Well, first of all, hi guys.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm about to get dinner here. So, all right. Let's start with the big responsibility that the sequel trilogy had for Star Wars. Okay.
Okay.
So they brought it back with The Force Awakens, which wasn't really that bad of a film on it in itself. But let's keep in mind that responsibility that they have to the brand, okay? So my perception of what happened with The Last Jedi is that they wanted to take it to a different direction that the Skywalker saga has presented. They wanted to expand the concept of the Force uh, as being something that can be used and perceived by almost anybody, and not just being exclusively for like Force sensitive families or whatever idea we used to have in the past about this mysterious force. But the problem with the Last Jedi and and with the third one, with the Rise of Skywalker, got even worse. Is all the meddling that happened from the studio and from fans and from all the creative people that worked on the movie. They really couldn't make heads or tails of the situation, and they wanted to squeeze their new ideas in while still trying to keep it a legacy movie, and they just failed at both in my idea. That's what I think about the Last Jedi. Is that
Okay,
they
first
tried
of
to do
all, I
something.
invite you to help me out, you motherfucker, not to destroy me because I'm defending here. But either way, um, do you know why Johnson was involved in the movie in first?
¿Qué es, perdón? Es una flauta.
Okay, I'm just gonna translate where they're listening. He's bringing him
No,
a fried taco,
le di una orden de flautas, pero sin
and
lechuga.
he
O sea,
say,
con todo
"I
menos
want one
lechuga.
without lettuce, but no, with everything but lettuce,"
Ajá.
and they bring it with lettuce.
¿No quiere lechuga? ¿Por qué?
I'm
He
sorry,
doesn't.
man.
He
¿Qué es el
doesn't like.
problema con la lechuga?
I swear to God, when you get your flautas here in this place, they ask you if you want lechuga, queso, and crema, right?
Cheese, cream, and lettuce. Yeah,
Right? And I said no lechuga.
he said no lettuce.
So
Yeah.
they brought me one with only lechuga, right?
And
I
oh,
swear to
welcome
God.
to Mexico.
I swear to God.
So do you know why he was the director of the movie, Alexander?
You're talking about Ray Johnson?
Yeah.
Well, they replaced their original candidate for the sequel, right?
Who was that?
Wasn't gonna be like Colin Trevorrow, or is that for the third one?
No,
Or
that
was
was
that
for
for?
the third one, I think.
So maybe Denis Villeneuve.
But why?
Ooh,
But
that
why
would have been
Ryan
good.
Johnson just jumped in to try to save the day when he didn't have the CB or the experience in this genre to do it? Because he came as a writer, as a director too.
Right. Well, the thing about studio executives, I think, is that sometimes they have no idea what the source material is. They don't even care what they're making. They just find people they can trust in, and they let them do their thing. Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, Jake has another idea, another theory. What you say, Jake?
Ryan Johnson's blowjob skills were worth risking a franchise over.
una orden,
That's
por
fucking
favor.
fantastic that he's eating. Don't you think? That's the oracle.
Oh my God.
But so there's only one more thing I want to say about The Last Jedi specifically, other than just arguing about it, and I will praise it because I'll be honest, the end of the movie is fucking great for the most part. There's two really bad things that happen, but specifically in concept and the action that you see on screen is really phenomenal. Like I remember being in the theater and I was like, okay, I sat through all that horse shit. This is worth it. And then they drag the rug out from under you by making it a projection instead of it actually being Luke. And then he doesn't even die. He just fucking disappears, which makes no sense whatsoever because nothing actually happened to
Hold a
him.
second. Hold a second. He used all that force to project himself, and that's what he drained his life in. Like every Jedi, like Yoda, you don't understand that Luke in that one is Yoda. It's not Luke. They just make the pot. Exactly, Yoda died the same way, bro. But the last breath of energy that he need to project and damage Kylo Ren and stay there projecting and creating that diversion drain his last part of life because Luke doesn't want to leave. Luke want to be a hermitage. And again, he dies like every Jedi that wants to die because they don't die, they transcend to become more powerful. So he didn't die. You're right. He transcend.
It's fucking dumb how they put it on screen. It's fucking it's lame. It's lame as fuck. It's like I'm stealing this joke actually. I forget from who. Who said this joke? Because I don't want to like plagiarize without giving credit.
But
God damn it.
You
Well,
can
no,
just go ahead.
somebody remind me who it is, but it's like getting the world's best blowjob. Oh, it's Kevin Smith. It's not even a comedian. It's like getting the world's best blowjob, and then right before you fucking bust, she takes it out of her mouth and just starts jerking you off. It's the worst fucking like that's exactly what the end of that movie was like.
Well, first of all, I want to point that this is not a misogynist podcast. And if you
No,
girls
because a
want to
guy
hear
can
that,
a guy can suck dick too. Ryan Johnson did to get
Jesus
this movie.
Christ.
That's
And
what Ryan Johnson did to the
that's
studio
exactly so
executive.
many years. How many years in money investing you in colleges for you to talk like that in
No,
public?
this is why I figured it out. I solved the mystery. Ryan Johnson's, doing his thing with the studio exec, and then right as he's about to bust his nuts, he fucking takes it out, jerks him off, squeezes his balls, and says, "Give me that fucking movie." and when it's done, I'll fucking let you come. That's
There you
exactly
go.
what he did. And then it was
Yeah.
so bad that the studio executive said, "You know what? J.J. Abrams sucks an okay dick." So
Come on, don't make with JJ, bro. Please don't.
no,
JJ
I'm
did a
not
great
saying
job.
J.J. didn't get to where he is by sucking dick. I'm just saying he
He's
does
good.
it. He does a decent job of,
He
you know.
does more than a decent job.
I'm talking about sucking dick, not making movies. I like
I
his
don't know. I
movies.
will never get a blowjob from him, and I will never perform. I will never suck a dick, and I will never do it again. Okay. Sorry for all the people that is
Yeah.
listening to this podcast. I'm just kidding. Okay. I will
I'm
never
just
suck.
kidding, but like it's yeah, I'll never suck a dick. No homo. Um, no, I'm kidding, but
For
like
less than $25.
it's $20 is $20. No, all
Hey,
I'm saying is I'm not seriously suggesting that Ryan Johnson got where he was by exchanging sexual favors, but if it came out, I'd be like, huh, makes a little bit more sense.
well, the thing is, I get when people get so upset, and I get it, but and I'm gonna sound naive and stupid, but at least we have the chance to see more. I know that it's not enough. I know that we want the best, but like, I think I shared this the last episode. The Oracle and I were doing an advent calendar, rewatching all
Mhm.
the Marvel movies. But we make a deal. We're gonna assume that we never watched it before, and we're gonna take all the bullshit of our own personal trauma and our own projections. And I even like Thor, the Dark One. I hated
Really?
that. Yes, because when you take that ego and narcissism in I know everything and I want it this way, you're not a Backstreet Boy, okay? You can have it that way, right?
Well, I suppose after Thor Love and Thunder,
Sin lechuga.
We
seen Lechuga.
haven't seen Lechuga.
They, they
We
still don't
haven't
get it
got to
right.
there. We're right now today we gotta watch Iron Man 3. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Captain Marvel that you hated. Alexander the Oracle kind of like it. We saw it when you see it without
I did like it. I did
with
like Captain Marvel.
yeah, when without expectations, and I invite the audience to do that with this Star Wars movie. Again, watch episode 1, get bored without expectation. Press your setup reset button and watch episode 1, get bored because it's even the color correction is too yellow. Watch episode 2, get excited because Padme is getting older. Watch episode 3, that is really intense and really dramatic. Then watch episode 4 and get full of hope, a new hope. Then watch episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, that is one of the best ones. And I highly recommend, if you're really a true fan, between 3 and 4, please watch Rogue One because it's for me is the second best movie of the
Oh
the
yeah,
whole
that
thing.
is between 3 and 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then
Yeah.
watch The Return of the Jedi without prejudices, without arrogance, and feel the joy of the motorcycle fly, right? Forget about what is Ewoks there? How a trunk can destroy
What do you
I'm
mean?
just
Why are Ewoks there? They live there.
I don't believe that
Forest
the
Moon.
Ewoks was a good decision. Me personally, I'm just talking generally.
Oh, sir.
The Ewoks is the worst decision of Star Wars.
It
ever.
was
Really?
originally gonna be it was gonna be Wookiees, right?
That's what
Yeah,
they were going to
they
be
were gonna
called.
be Wookiees.
No. That's not right. The Ewoks were always going to look like that, but they were going to be called Wookiees. And then
Why?
I don't know. That's what George Lucas came up with, but he thought it
First
didn't
of all,
sound right.
George Lucas is a god. I want you to bow every time you say his name. Because without him, we wouldn't have in this conversation.
I mean, fair enough. I'm not
Okay.
criticizing George.
But
I'm criticizing
let me
his
keep
dialogue.
my path of how to watch the movie.
Okay.
Watch the Return of the Jedi. And then take a deep breath and be grateful that the trilogy that we love has other 3 character chapters. Like you're watching a telenovela, some episodes gonna suck, but keep hoping to get more because we're gonna watch Rey, that is 25 years after.
Better.
No, it's more than
40,
that,
40,
isn't it?
40 years,
Yeah,
40
yeah.
years after. 40 years after, we have this grade that is gonna happen to be balance on the Force. because the force is always trying to get balance. Then we're gonna have this movie that we've been talking about that my fellows hosts here are destroying, right? And then we're gonna have a resolution that probably is not the best. Yes, they don't supposed to kiss at the end. Yes, they don't supposed to kill each other, but it was cool. It was justified. And now we're gonna have 3 more that you guys are gonna hate, and I will love. And as we move forward in life, one day you're gonna watch. You're an asshole.
Which movies are you talking about? Which new movies are you talking about?
They're
Are you
gonna
talking
be they're gonna be a new
the new
trilogy. Yeah, it's gonna be a new
How do
trilogy.
you know? How do you know you're gonna like it and we're gonna hate it? Hate it? How do you know that?
Because I know Jake, and I know he's gonna complain about everything unless
Right,
it's a
because
perfect
you're
movie.
because you're assuming that just because it's new, we're not gonna like it. And
No,
just
no,
because
not
the
me.
other,
I love those movies, Alexander. I'm the
no,
one
you're
that is
talking about
defending them.
Jake and myself. That you assume that we're not gonna like them
Okay.
just because they're new
First
material.
of all, calm down. I didn't brought you the lechuga. Everything is fine.
They still got it wrong, but
I
I'm
know, I
working on it.
know. I'm listening to it. But
I'm
my
working on it.
point is that we need to be grateful that we have more material. I've been watching the new show, right? On the new show from Star Wars that it was released, what, like 4 days ago?
Right, Skeleton Crew.
If it's for kids, totally. If they try to make the Goonies in the space, totally. Do I like it? Do I dislike it? No, because it's part of the trilogy that I love the most. Did I like Solo? No. Did I like Andor? Yes. Right?
Yeah, Solo is awful. Solo is an awful movie.
Solo is an awful movie. That I didn't like it. I didn't dislike it, okay? But let me be clear on that. I didn't dislike it. I didn't love it. But my point is, a Skeleton Crew, holiday specials, the Young Jedis, they're going to be good things or bad things, right? Have you guys seen the Tales of Empire?
No.
It's one season that is really enhancing, right? It's the journey into fearsome galactic empire through the eyes of 2 warriors of the divergent paths. So it's another perception, and I'm really grateful because I come from a fan base that I wanted to read as many comics as I could. And let's be honest, there's some comics in that I hated. Like I hated, before the 90s, I was tired of reading enormous dialogues in the Fantastic Four. Now I love Fantastic Four, right? The Avengers of the West Coast, they suck ass, but at least we keep going. So I'm just grateful because I think that it's gonna get better with age. These movies, I know how to ignite. Alexander, are you ready? I actually like Obi-Wan Kenobi the series. Now I watch it
Now
again.
you're lying.
No, and I didn't dislike it. I didn't love it, but I didn't dislike it. So maybe I'm getting more mature in my perception. Maybe I'm learning how to separate my ego from expectations. But I'm just grateful.
Or maybe the Star Wars properties are getting worse and worse, and you look back at what was bad before, and you're like, you know what? Comparatively speaking, because that's the point I was making about Thor, is like after Thor: Love and Thunder, yeah, I bet The Dark World is not a terribly bad movie after seeing
Well,
that.
we don't know because we raise our button and we will know when we get that.
Right. But thank God.
The
I
Acolyte,
don't
I
ever want to
think that
watch.
the Acolyte is
I mean, you can like you can like a movie or a show, even if it's bad.
Yeah.
You can still like it. It doesn't have. We don't not have to agree on the same thing. Like I can like a couple of movies that I know are bad, but I like them because they're funny or because the visuals are fine. But when you're trying to decide between the quality of a product, you have to be objective about it. For example, if you're watching a movie where the rules are set from the start, the rules of the world you're building are set from the start, and then along the movie you break the rules, it stops making sense. Fair enough?
Can you? Yes, but can you be specific in what you mean?
I'll be specific. So
Please.
let's talk about one of the greatest movies ever made. Okay, let's take for example one of the greatest movies. I'd argue for
The
it to be
history of the world too.
the best movie ever made.
The history of
The,
the world too.
the Matrix,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
It
when
was
you
Back to the Future, but go ahead.
when you start watching The Matrix, the exposure from the dialogue lets you know the rules of the world.
Okay.
So these people can die in the Matrix, and if they die in the Matrix, they die in the real world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All across the movie, things happen where they defy the rules of physics in our real world to make the film look fantastic. But it never deviates from the rules they set. You never see people in the real world, in the movie's real world. You never see them flying around, right? You don't see them. You don't see them like shooting lasers from their eyes or something like that. That would be unreal for the world they created.
Mm-hmm.
And let's compare it to the Matrix Revolutions, right? The Matrix Reloaded. What's the second one? Where they
Yeah.
just started doing things that made no sense inside the world, like Neo being able to control the Sentinels in the outside world and things like that that they never fully explained. That's because they wanted to make so much that they really never pulled the truth. So when you make a good movie that plays well within its rules, that's a good product, right? Even I know there's people that like that maybe surely there's people out there that like the Matrix sequels, but that's not to say they're good movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Going back to the Future, they keep the same, everything perfect to the core, the same rules, and they're
Back to the Future,
fantastic.
it's a great example. It's a
It's a
great
great
example as
example,
well.
and it's fantastic. However, I'm sad in a way that I'm not gonna have Back to the Future 4 or the Hidden Doctor, right? What series of cartoons, and I hated that because it would be amazing to have more. But in the way of open your universe, you're gonna have some mistakes because you're gonna have different people involved of different eras. I agree what you're saying. However, I feel like you want to be objective. I'm with you. We need to stop being fans to be real objective. The movie cost 300 millions, make 1.2. That's an executive. It was a success. I don't care if Mr. Stevens in Oklahoma gets mad because Java didn't win. Rah, 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 and it was
So, but
it doesn't
here's
matter.
so here's my argument to that. Okay, and I will say this is not an argument that most studio executives would even entertain, no matter who it comes from. But okay, yeah, you spent 300 million and then you made 1.3 billion. Okay, what if you had made 2 billion by making a good movie?
It will never be. Let me tell you why. The fan base is so open, not like Back to the Future,
No,
that
I
people,
vehemently
man, you just
disagree.
gotta go to social media once, and people are so dumb or so in necessity to be recognized that they need to open their mouth. And sadly, the world today, they get more recognition being negative
Here's
than
how it
being positive.
translates. Here's how it translates to dollars and cents. Okay, here's a good example. How many times did I see The Last Jedi in movie theaters?
I don't know, 3 times.
One time. It's all I
How
could
many
stomach.
do you pay Disney?
Yeah, I paid Disney Plus, but not for
15.
that.
That's it.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna make the
No,
point.
no, no.
No,
I
no,
was
no.
talking to David.
Let me make
Okay,
the
go
point.
ahead.
Let me
Go
make the
ahead. Go
point.
ahead. Go ahead.
How many times and I'm not saying it's a great movie, but I'm saying I enjoyed it and it's a better movie than this piece of shit. How many times did I go see episode 2 in theaters?
Twice.
4.
Okay.
Because
So
that
first of
Yoda,
all, I'm sorry because it's not a good movie, Attack of the Clones.
it's better than fucking The Last Jedi.
It's different.
It's different, yes, but it's better and it obeys the rules that had been established thus far.
I don't feel bad to breaking the rules in a world when everything is moved by the force that nobody can control. And depends of the vessel is the way that you move the force. But either
By the
way,
way,
I was
thank
talking.
you, Andrea, for liking and subscribing. Appreciate it. Go vote for
Thank
us in the
you.
Artie Awards, please. First
Don't
link in the
listen to this guy.
descriptions.
Just vote for Toon Talk 2.0.
That's what I'm
Don't
talking
nobody
about.
else.
I said
Oh,
go
I
vote
thought
for
you-
us.
Okay, Andrea, thank you very much. So listen to me, just for a second. I
No.
lost my train of thought. Damn it. Oh yeah, I was talking to David Firestone. Go and watch his podcast. It's really good, really professional. A real manager in Beverly Hills. If you're an actor, you need to watch this podcast. Communicate with him. You got a direct chance to be part of his cast. Now, we're talking about this. The industry has changed so much because back in the day, you have a good script, you got a good agent, the agent presents you to investors, investors to the studio, you make a movie. Or you open a company, make a movie, the studio distribute it. So it was a balance in the force. Now it's totally unbalanced. Why?
It is. Yeah.
Every month, regardless of what bullshit they put out or how good, every month they have a new allowance because of the streaming apps. It's continuous no matter what.
Yeah, no, I get
So
that. I
yes,
get that.
the force is unbalanced. So what we need to do is Alexander needs to take a plane. You need to take a plane. We meet in LA and we're gonna go buy lightsabers, kill all the executive, and bring balance to the force.
Or
Without Lechuga.
oh yeah, sin lechuga. Or actually, you know what? Bring the lechuga and throw it in their dead fucking faces when we're done. Be like,
Now we have a problem. We don't have the
Why so good?
lightsabers that work, and I never kill no one. So that might be really hard for me.
yeah,
I
let's
don't,
not
I
do
don't, I don't
that.
know about the Oracle. You don't know. I don't know about him, but I can kill a person. I cannot. I was crying yesterday that my dog almost died.
Hey, okay, as someone who has never, well, I'm not going to say never, who almost never sheds, like I can watch a movie where 80 people get ripped to shreds and I don't give a fuck. But okay, Jurassic Park 2. That T-Rex eats like at least a dozen people. Don't bat an eye. The minute it's implied that that thing ate the dog, I'm like, fuck that lizard, kill it dead.
Okay, that's another trilogy that I don't like.
What?
Jurassic Park, I love the first one.
Okay, that's
The
fair.
second
That's fair.
one is odd. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's odd. It's odd. That's a perfect way to describe
The
it.
third one is
It's bad.
trying to get back
Yeah,
to it, but
it's
it's
just-
bad. They try to get back, right?
And you know what? Jurassic World did the same thing because the first one I
Jeez.
liked.
Yeah.
And then they bring in the whole like human clone thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're weird now.
You know what? I'm gonna talk to executives right now. Listen to me, executives. If you know an executive, put this to them. Please, Jake, make a short about this. I bet you my corneas, my kidneys, my liver, my brain, my whatever, that if you actually don't pay me, just if we actually can sit down and talk about the future trilogy, right? And if you don't like it, I give my body to science and give my organs away.
So the
I
way
bet
you
you need-
open the first movie in the new trilogy is you have like a really really nicely edited recap of the last trilogy with Rey and Finn and all of them, and then you suddenly jump cut to Luke Skywalker going like this, going and sits up in bed next to Mara Jade and goes, "Holy fuck, that was weird," and just erase it.
No. What I
I
will
know, and then he
do-
goes out and talks to Adam Driver as Ben Solo and be like, Ben, holy shit, I gotta tell you about this fucking dream. And Ben goes, what the fuck? I had the same dream, and that bitch Ray was there, but she was the good guy. What?
But she kissed me at the end. Ooh-hoo.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you know what I will do is actually just fast forward another 30 years.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Just pretend like you can acknowledge that it
Yeah,
happened.
and now and acknowledge that it happened, and I will just make the Wookiee perception of the first one, he telling the story to somebody else and what happened after. I will do that because
You should have an
we
old and gray, like a grizzled old Chewbacca is the anchor.
but something that the new trilogy miss in the pod is the importance of the droids, because in the
Yes.
first trilogy the droids were really important.
Of course.
First trilogy in the timeline, second trilogy.
And listen, can I just say something more about just to drive the point,
Yeah.
the point home
Yeah.
about the quality of movies? Like, I'm gonna say, the prequel trilogy, they're not awesome movies. they're not that great. The Phantom Menace is mid at best. But there's one thing to say about them. The performances from the actors on them, they made them so great. Like Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson, they made the movies so great that 20 years later, they're thought of as great movies. When in reality, they're not. Because there's so many problems with the prequel trilogies regarding the Force and regarding Anakin's birth and all those things that they missed on the first time around, they're ignored totally just because of the nostalgia we get from those great. I mean, they carried the whole trilogy, these actors. And the sequel trilogy, even though it has some great actors in it, including Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley, they just couldn't pull it off because it was so bad of a script that we can't ignore the plot holes and the stupid, the wanting to push their ideology in movies. Like in The Last Jedi, they wanted to drive the point that Luke Skywalker is just a failed old man and Rose Tico is the future of the world. Like this boss girl, and I can do whatever I want.
Well, and not only that, it's like you gotta protect the ones you love. Even by doing so, you fuck everybody and get everyone killed. Finn's sacrifice could. Okay, imagine this though. Like seriously, just from a script perspective, imagine if Finn had succeeded in driving his ship into the fucking thing.
He would become a hero.
He's a hero. Instead, why was Rose even in a fucking ship? At no
Why
point.
Rose existed? I agree with that. Why she existed?
And I'm not shitting on the actress. I'm not shitting on the actress.
Yeah, shitting the actress is really bad. The problem is they need to bring a space between Rey and Finn. They need
I
it
get
because
it.
they
Do
can
it
be
better.
brothers. No, but they couldn't be brothers like in the first one. Where I told you, Finn is Leia, and Rey is Luke, because they have the exposition in the first one saying they're brothers. Okay, open. Here they needed to create a diversion that is called Rose. That is annoying because the Rose character is improvised. Because somebody said we cannot, like I say, yes, it got many mistakes. I'm grateful that we keep going. And I know when we talk about this movie in 10 years, it's going to look better because that's what happened with episode 1, 2, and 3, right? I didn't like them the first time I saw them. I really love the Revenge of the Sith now.
So I actually remember I went to the midnight premiere of episode 1 with my cousin, who was my cousin was a giant Star Wars fan, still is, I believe. But anyway, because God, I'm fucking old. He was in his 20s when that movie came out. Now he's almost 50. Anyway, he took me to the midnight premiere, and I remember being
first of all, fuck you. But keep going.
No, it's just very surreal to me because I was like 11 or 12 when that movie came out. But anyway,
like
I remember
with your cousin now.
Huh? Yeah,
no, like you with your nephew now. Like you with your nephew now.
Yeah, except he was younger.
Okay.
Anyway, I remember being in the theater as in like an 11 or 12-year-old and being like, this movie's kind of bad. Until for me, it made up for it with the last lightsaber duel. But yeah, the movie as in and of itself, I do remember thinking like, this is kind of not what I was hoping for.
Yeah, no, the Phantom Menace, I don't like it at all, man. It's boring. It's long.
A lot of it is.
Flaws. Right, it has flaws to the story.
Too many Gungans.
But
right, Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks is a big mistake.
I mean, all the Gungans. They should have all been wiped out. If the fucking Trade Federation was going to do anything right, they should have killed every Gungan.
Or we just can have more Wookiees. I don't know why we don't have more Wookiees.
Why don't we have more Wookiees?
Wookiees are the rule. Seriously, the new trilogy is supposed to be an old Chewbacca, right? Dying, telling the story next to C-3PO and R2 about what happened after, right? The raid situation, Kylo Ren, right? The big duel, they kill each other, and then we start from zero.
Didn't we have Wookiees in the holiday Christmas special?
Of course we have them. They're amazing.
Right. So they had Wookiees in the holiday Christmas special. So my idea is that they wanted to save the Wookiee world to some big project in the future, just to redeem the Wookiee thing from the holiday special, right? So that's why they never fully used Kashyyyk as a setting. except
Bro,
for episode 3 where they actually set Yoda there. But
so I got a question. When we gonna do this, Jake? An advent calendar of the whole Star Wars. Listen to me.
I don't
We're gonna
want to.
listen. If you raise your mind, we use the app, and I'm gonna explain to everyone how they use the app like that because it's really interesting. The problem that you need to be strong because we need to start with 3 seasons of the Acolyte. That's how the 1 season of Acolyte. Sorry. Then we gotta do episode 1, and blah 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 blah, and it's gonna be strong because it starts with 1 episode of with 1 season of the Acolyte, right? So
The power of one.
Acolyte, then the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, then 7 seasons of the Clone Wars.
Okay, the Clone Wars is good.
It's 7 seasons, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
then
that sounds
7
right.
seasons, 1 episode a day. Then the Revenge of the Sith, then Bad Batch, then Solo, then Obi-Wan, then 4 seasons of the Star Wars Rebels, then Andor, Rogue One, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, The Return of the Jedi, then The Mandalorian, the 3 seasons, then the Boba Fett season, then the Ahsoka season, then the Skeleton Crew, then 4 seasons of the Star Wars Resistance. That actually is a really simple, good cartoon. I used to see it with Alexander all the time. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and we finish with The Rise of the Skywalker. When we're gonna do that for the fans?
That sounds fucking miserable, dude.
What are you talking about? At the end of the day, you put your feet up. I tell you how to connect your phone, and we're doing this.
That's like the end of a year. That will take you a year.
So I'm
It'll
asking
take you
for
more
2
than a
hours.
year.
I'm asking you for 2 hours a day at the most. Some days it's just 30 minutes.
I fucking wish I had 2 hours a day.
Well, you need to find the ways for the fans. Please, I want you to write in the comments if you want us to do that. I will gladly keep you posted. It's a commitment of the Star Wars. I'm doing it with Alexander right now. We're doing the Advent calendar, and this is how you do it. You got your Disney Plus, how you call that, membership. We have the same membership, Alexander and me, so we're not paying more. And you FaceTime the person, okay? If you have an Apple TV, doesn't matter. FaceTime in your phone, open the app, and select the movie. The other person will receive a notification, open their app, and start the movie. And in that moment, Jake, and all the audience, your Apple TV is going to tell you, do you want to watch it here? So then you go and press yes, and you're watching in the TV. Simultaneously, Alexander in another country, another state, another city, whatever, is watching it together so you can be talking about the movie. And you can do this with 16 people through FaceTime. So I highly recommend that. It's been real fun because if I pause it, it posts everywhere and we can talk about it. If he posts it, it's the same. We rarely pause it, but if you want to say a joke or something like that, and it becomes more friendship and society involved watching a movie like that. So I hope I explained it correctly. And that will be all for me today, because as we come to the point, Star Wars always going to be good, regardless if you like it or not.
Oh, that's just demonstrably not true.
First of all, go fuck yourself with your Star Trek. Go and fuck longer. Go and
I think
fuck yourself.
Star Trek is better than Star Wars.
Shut the fuck up, Alexander. You're supposed to be my friend.
Sorry.
Oh, by the way,
that's what I think.
Oh, by the way,
They're
Virus.
different. Go ahead.
I put in a little surprise in the thumbnail just to piss you off.
Oh, why you do that?
Because it's fun.
Why you do that?
Because it's fun. Let's see if you can find it.
Oh, well, the eyes of everyone. Thank you.
No, that's not it. Top right corner.
Said fuck you. The Enterprise in the top right. And I just saw the thumbnail. Why everyone has those eyes?
Believe it or not, I actually took inspiration from Justin. That's what Justin does with all his thumbnails. And I'm like, you know what? It worked for this one.
It's a debate. It's not even. Half supposed to be one. Kylo Ren is crying. Really?
Yes, of course. Ren cries in every other one of these fucking movies. Literally every one.
He's a sensitive guy, okay?
He's a bitch.
He's a sensitive guy. You don't understand the way that he's carrying that name.
Cries in every one of these movies.
So I cry watching movies all the time.
Okay,
So I'm a
that's
bitch.
a
That's what
that's
you
a
say.
reason. No, Kylo Ren cries for no reason.
Hey, you don't understand what Skywalker, being a Skywalker is. You don't put yourself into his shoes.
He's a
Adam
solo,
Driver,
but all right.
Adam Driver is a great actor.
He
And
is. He
that's a
is, and I
really
think
good
it's
actor.
a shame that these movies make him look so bad at times.
Right.
Because sometimes he becomes better than the script, and those are the best scenes he's in.
Of
When
course,
he's
because
crying.
there are actors that can take a bad script and make it work
Yeah.
just based of their performance.
So I'm
But
gonna ask something to Alexander, and I know I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot. Do you think that Mark Hamill is a good actor?
no, I don't.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we've had this discussion.
We have discussion. Thank you.
And
I
I
gave you
love
I gave you
Luke
that one.
Skywalker. I love Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
And I watched the new movie, the Bert Kirshner movie, The Bear. Did you watch the comedy with Mark Hamill as his dad? He's
yes,
really
yes.
funny. He's really funny. But the thing about Mark Hamill is that he's always gonna be Luke Skywalker, no
Yeah,
matter
because
what.
he's not a good actor. He's a great voice actor, and he was great to do Luke Skywalker.
But
He's not a good
he's
actor.
great. He's great in that part. He's great at playing the whiny little farm boy that grows up to be with the weight of being a Jedi on his shoulders, right?
Yeah, but at the end, he's a farmer. He's not a cultivate guy, and that's what he acts.
And you believe him,
Irrational.
and you root for him, and you believe
Yeah,
him.
I
You
don't know.
want
I
him to.
always root for his dad, bro. You know that.
Well, who
Well,
doesn't root for that?
I will say this much. Uh Anakin in his prime versus Luke, Anakin's like killing that kid
Oh,
8 different ways. Oh,
Anakin will destroy him.
yeah. Oh yeah, there's no.
Anakin and Luke is like saying Jordan in his prime and LeBron in his prime. Yeah, they're
Like
good, they're
yeah.
awesome, but Jordan will destroy him,
Yeah.
dude.
Well,
Anakin is
it's worth pointing out that Luke fights Vader twice, and Vader is literally handicapped in both of those fights, and Luke doesn't even come close in the first one. Like Vader's playing with him in the first one, and in the third one, I mean, technically Luke wins, but barely.
he didn't win. He lose in the third one, and his dad need to come and save him because he was getting
Fair.
electrocuted.
That's true. I mean in their actual duel, right? But
No, he didn't. He was the Darth Vader always did. If we was a force-nometer, right?
force nometer.
Luke was 70 and Anakin was 90 and Darth Vader was 100. Like the power of Anakin and Darth Vader was massive. I highly recommend this to the audience because we're not gonna have recommendations today, but maybe with something that we say. But if you can watch Batman against Darth Vader by on YouTube, highly recommend it. Have you guys seen it? Have you seen it, Jake?
No, but now I want to.
Can we share screens?
I've seen it.
Not with that, but yeah, go. I'll go watch it.
Man, actually, I'm gonna call the director and try to get him in one of our shows. I totally forgot about that. But Bad from the Sun is the company that does it, and it's Batman against Darth Vader. What a great short film, man! It's like seriously, like 11 minutes of good. And when you finish it, the alternative ending. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's really good. It's really good. For me, that will be all for today, guys. I don't know if you guys want to add anything else.
The Last Jedi is not a good movie.
Oh my god.
I would also say you don't have to feel obligated to like something just because they put it out.
Okay, I like it because I like the effort on doing things. I agree with what you say. I don't need to like it, but I think that people nowadays just want to be involved without knowledge. I'm not saying you guys, I'm saying in general. So 10 people say I don't like it, the 11th person will be like, I don't like it either. I'm just saying you take your own, take your time and figure it out. Go and watch Batman versus Darth Vader. It's been released 9 years ago and it has 20 million views. So you gotta have something, right?
Probably deserves it. I will say this much though: if you're going to critique something, don't be an internet troll about it, because you're no better off than the people that shamelessly defend it with no valid points either. Watch it, figure out why you don't like it, come up with some arguments, and pressure test them. Debate with your friends. Say, hey,
But most importantly, just feel it.
yeah,
If you love what you're seeing, it's probably good. Because we love these franchises. We're not just qualifying them based on like scientific evidence. We love these characters. We love these worlds. We love these fandoms. Right?
Yeah. I
It
really
plays a part
think
in our feelings. It plays a part in our worldview.
it's like the Force is part of us. It's inside us, surrounded us.
Well, of course it is. That's why we love Star Wars. This
You
would
guys-
matter. We're not.
Yeah, you guys remember the blue harvest?
Yeah.
Around us, inside us. Anyway, thank you very much, Alexander. I know that you're having your dinner.
Enjoy your tacos, my friend.
And please just tell us how the tacos are. They're good.
They were fair. They're not great. You know.
So you can say that the Last Jedi is the tacos that you ate today. You eat them, you're gonna poop them, but you're not satisfied, right?
They may be a little better than the Last Jedi.
Okay. I'm not gonna compete against you guys. You have to believe what you want to believe. I'm always gonna be rooting for the art to move forward regardless. A lot of people thought that Pollock was stupid and Van Gogh was an idiot. Let's see how everything ages. Right? So let's see how everything ages. Thank you, Jake Boger. Was a great show today. Thank you, Oracle Alexander. See you guys next week when we're gonna be talking about Jake boobs.
Jake, what?
Boobs.
My boobs?
Yeah, I just wanted to react, man, because you were like, yeah, like boobs, your
Yeah.
breast.
My breasticles?
Nah, I don't know what we're gonna. I know next episode is really important because we're gonna review the nominations for the voting. We're gonna
Yes,
go
that's
with
right.
samples of everything. We're gonna tell you what we like, what they get nominated, and go all around the Reddit Media and the Pantheon podcasts for you to get the best decision. Remember to vote, and remember to vote for us, Toon Talk 2.0. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pan. Thank you, Jake. You want to do it?
guys.
We haven't done it in a long time. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's get into position.
Right.
Yep.
Roll them up.
Bye.
Right.